Hi, you guys. It's Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are a subscriber. I'm going to be talking about the Sun through Pisces cycle for 2016. Here are the start times for each part of this video so you can get right to what you'd like to see. In essence, the Sun is going to be making a huge connection with Neptune, and a bunch of planets and heavenly bodies are going to be joining in on this. So we're getting a super Pisces cycle this year. Mars is also changing signs during this cycle. I talked a lot about that during last month's video. So those are the big things that are happening. Here are the start times again, and enjoy. Okay, so we got lots of charts for you. I want to show you where the planets are when the Sun comes into Pisces on the 18th of February. And then I want to show you a really important date here, March 5th. This is a very active cycle between the 5th and the 8th, and two significant things are going to be happening that day. So the first one is Mercury will be joining all those planets in Pisces. The second one, the second chart here, is Mars will be moving and going on into Sagittarius. We'll talk about that in a sec, but we really want to underscore how many entities are heavenly bodies, because we have the node, which isn't a planet, and this chart doesn't show up, but we also have Chiron, one of the asteroids, in Pisces as well. So we are really getting a lot of Pisces activity. And here is the chart for the new moon, which is a solar eclipse on March 8th. So that's a new moon in Pisces. So you get the idea from the charts. We have a lot of planets piling up in Pisces. So what does that mean? I am going to call this period here, and you can see one more on the 12th. Venus joins the bunch, and so we get Venus in there. So Mars sort of leaves the watery planets, but Venus comes in. So we just keep things watery throughout this cycle, but the emphasis is here on Pisces. So to understand that, we need to understand what Pisces is, and a lot of people give you really good strictly Pisces definitions. It's a water sign. It's the 12th sign. It is mutable. It rules the feet, the immune system, all those things. And the thing is with me, I so associate it with Neptune, I can't seem to disconnect the two. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. But the two have so much that I just decided to put some of the qualities together because they so overlap. And the thing is, every chart that I've shown you shows Neptune right in the middle of this. And of course, Neptune is in a long transit through Pisces. Here are the dates for all the planets that'll be in Pisces in this cycle and beyond. And for you technical people, the asterisks are there for Chiron and Neptune because I know they go in and out of retrograde on the ends of that cycle. But for the rest of you, you get the gist. We have a lot of Pisces going on. And so why I'm just kind of jokingly calling it the big space out is we have such an influence of Neptune behind it all. Connecting with the personal planets. And so we're going to feel this so strongly, and it's really hard to put our fingers on. So I'm kind of putting some of these qualities together. Get my words out. And I want to kind of talk about those because a lot of times Neptune is just so hard to understand that people go, what? The subconscious, the unconscious, addictions, art, imagination. It's like so many things that how can you kind of put it together? So, and it is one where you can see, even from my little list of some of the words connected with Neptune and Pisces, it's a real mix, and it's not like all just yay creativity and spirituality. Everything kind of has a shadow or a counterpoint in there. And the thing is, when we're going through it, it's like driving through a fog. You can't really see exactly where you are, and you don't fully comprehend it till you're on the other side of it, when you have a lot of Pisces going on in your life. And I know people are gonna maybe say, oh, this is so like cookbook, but I am seriously the 5th through the 19th of March. Seriously, I'm going to have my Find My iPod and Find My iPad app up and working. I'm going to pay attention to where I put my keys, because there's just too many planets that are going to be in Pisces for some of us to stay super rational. So, again, some of these qualities, we talk about spirituality and psychic ability, but we also talk about gullibility. So there's a danger that we can join the cult or drink too much of the Kool-Aid in a so-called enlightened environment when there's really corrupt stuff going on. Now, what I like about any of these charts with all these planets in Pisces is Pluto is just 2 signs away, sextiling them right there from Capricorn, and it's helping keeping things real in a healthy sense. So you can, look for your spiritual leader and spend time with your guru. What Pisces tells us, and I feel like the Capricorn Pluto placement helps emphasize, is that we don't give our power away when we're in a dangerous environment. We can give way to fantasy. We can give way to addiction. We can just give up our power. And Pisces is also renowned for sort of having a victim consciousness, and so it's so important throughout all of this that you keep your power. You are the source of power. You are the one connected with spirit. So it's great to learn from anybody and all of that, but you are in the driver's seat. So something to think about. The other aspect that I want to talk about is how watery all this is. So, our thinking brain is going to be very challenged. Again, all these planets, they are opposite of Virgo and the North Node over there in very thinking, very mental, analytical Virgo. So there's that opposition where we want the artistry, we want the creativity. It's like the water. Virgo, it's often said, is the vessel. What are you doing with that? Are you showing up to practice? The other thing to note, of course, is that all these planets in Pisces are getting squared by Saturn in Sagittarius, another disciplinarian, another planet. And I know I've talked about that in other videos, so I don't want to go too far into it. You can look back when the sun rolls through mutable signs. I think my Sun into Gemini video last year, I talked a lot about the Saturn through Sag thing and how it creates these mutable crosses. And so this is an important aspect so that you can take this wonderful, imaginative, artistic Pisces energy, and you can do your fact checking. The other thing I want to get in here before I move on to Mars is how much we project the dream, the Pisces dream utopia, onto our politicians. Very relevant discussion for 2016, because they're all selling us a dream, and some of us we're going to really resonate like, yes, that would be great. And so Saturn in Sag I like because it's going to be fact checking quite a bit. And I also like Jupiter in Virgo and the North Node going, is this healthy? And applying some analysis to all those wonderful watery feelings. So again, we don't give our power away, or we don't give our power to the wrong person. Just live in the space and out, abdicating our responsibilities, etc. So this chart is set up for a really powerful Piscean time, and I hope that we're going to be using it for the values of a holistic look at things. Chiron's right in the middle of all that, and so we're talking about a lot of healing. We're talking about a oneness, recognizing our compassion and our connectivity. So we can really use this, and up until the 5th, Mars again will be in Scorpio, adding to how we truly feel. So good aspects. And again, the changing of the guard happens with Mars. So let's talk about that next. All right, so look at this chart. The 5th is just like the key day, the changing of the guards this cycle. So Mars moves out of intense, passionate, fixed water sign Scorpio into Sagittarius, where it's going to be close to Sag, but thankfully far enough apart right now. The two do have a conjunction coming up in August, I believe the 24th, and that is a little intense because Sag is philosophy, politics, but it's also has its fanatical element. So luckily these two, I think they get within 7 degrees of each other before Mars retrogrades back into Scorpio, so that's close, but it should be okay. And then, of course, things are really going to liven up when the sun goes into the fire sign of Aries next month, but let's not worry about that right now. For this discussion, let's talk about the fire sign connections that'll be happening. So we have all that water going on, and when Mars moves into Sagittarius, of course, it's going to be bolstering the energy, making a nice trine to Uranus over there in Aries. So we kind of get, passionate and some excitement and breakthroughs and some of the energies that we talked about while the sun was going through Aquarius. But I feel like they'll be fortified, and we can get passionate. We can create change, which is a very Uranian thing to do. And so I think that enlivening energy, which Mars is all about, is going to be very helpful. And again, it's connecting with Saturn, which is restriction, form. And again, it's telling us to manage that energy very, very carefully, and asking us to not only fact check, but to ask us how realistic these various solutions that are being offered are. And then the final part about that is Mars, of course, stimulates that mutable cross that I alluded to earlier. So again, now you got Mars and Saturn and Sag. They are squaring the North Node in Jupiter over there in Virgo, and they are going to square everything that rolls through Pisces. So we do have a lot of releasing energy. We have a lot of emphasis on preparation. And when we think about it and kind of bring the conversation back to where we started, which is the sun through Pisces cycle, we talk about preparation when we talk about Pisces. Been through the whole zodiac, made it around the wheel, and often in the Western Hemisphere, and you guys are going to love this analogy, but hey, it's what my guide said to share. So it's already warm here in Texas, so I've been planting my garden, and you need fertilizer. So I feel like when all that emotional stuff comes up, and because we have a Neptune influence talking about the unconscious, when we become conscious of it, we look at our fertilizer and if you want your roses, there's going to be some fertilizer, as nicely as I can say that. And I feel like when we do that and we recognize that even the crap in life, even the hard lessons, the pain of being here, if we can get something out of that, which is one, why do I keep attracting this, or why does this resonate? Of all the things going on, is there some subconscious story going on where that's what I look for, or that's my story and what I project onto the world? And if we can change that story, because we can, then this is really powerful as we prepare to go into a whole new cycle, a whole new turn of the wheel when the sun moves into Aries a month from now. So it's really important to think about how transformational Pisces is, because it reminds us we are not race, we are not gender, we are not our story. We're part of this infinite divine energy, this light that runs throughout all of us, that it spans all time. It's so much bigger than any temporary circumstances we're going through, no matter how hard those times, and I know they seem very real when we're going through, and we have real emotions and real conflicts, but the thing is, once you're in touch with that truly that higher place, that wisdom, like that point in gospel music is where I find it. There's just truly elation because we're something much bigger than this form, this little human carbon unit we run around in. And so if we can be in that awareness, this is a Pisces, feast that we're about to go through, a smorgasbord of Pisces energy. It's truly transformational. It can really help us plan the next cycle ahead. And so I just wish you guys all the best in that. Let me give you the resource bit and I'll wrap it up. All right, so I am Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Please visit my site, elizabethsoracle.co. You can sign up for my free newsletter. You can get a reading. And of course, here's my famous YouTube special 5 free minutes with your first order. You do have to order to get 5 free minutes. You can get the free newsletter. I also visit this month with my friend Christy Ayala on her show. She's a Pisces. Yay! Happy birthday, Christy. On Christy's Connection to the Soul. You can listen to that show anytime via archive, and we talk about all the cycles ahead, and Christy shares angel messages, so if those resonate for you, please check that out. And otherwise, I will just catch up with you guys when the sun rolls into the fire sign of Aries and we start a new cycle. I really invite you, especially you creative types, to embrace this cycle and for all of us to do a little soul searching, some healing, clearing, and pulling out any of the gunk, any of the toxins, because Pisces does rule the immune system. So physically and literally, any of the toxic stuff, let's leave it here, okay? And we'll be prepared to go into the new cycle. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.